1850, California began its interaction with the rest of the nation by ocean. It did not border any other state. The next nearest was Texas. The interior was considered hostile, dangerous wilderness, but also just fundamentally lacked roads, so steamships would leave from the East Coast, snake through the Caribbean, and drop off passengers in Panama. There, travelers would cross the country by foot and horse and boat to get to Panama City, where they wait
Oh, we got najdorf.
to California. At best, a 30 or 40-day trip, but incredibly, the fastest way to get from one half of America to the other. This disconnect meant California initially operated more like a colony, especially considering that until telegraph lines spanned the country a decade later, this weeks-long trip was also the fastest way to get information from coast to coast. It wasn't until the Transcontinental Railroad was completed in 1869 that the state was truly, reliably connected to the rest of the country by land, giving California 2 foundational decades to define its identity in isolation. This legacy persists. The disconnect exhibits in small ways that stack up into a meaningful sum. For example, most of the rest of the country is linked by a network.
Honestly, if you go live anywhere in the world, where'd you go live? Would you say Tokyo? Easy.
Work of oil
Easy, dude.
allowing for cheap and efficient transport of the resource.
Also, not really though, because I don't speak Japanese and it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, that would be.
From well to refinery to pump.
That would be annoying.
California is different. With those towering mountains and desolate deserts separating it from the east, the economics never worked out to extend a pipeline to the state. Therefore, California largely buys crude oil from foreign countries, imports it on enormous tanker ships, and refines it locally, which,
Rick B8.
strict environmental regulations, explains the higher prices typically seen at their pumps. California even has a small degree of disconnect to the rest of the American road network. It's the only state that requires all travelers to pass through any sort of...
Yeah, we can simply just continue with G4.
Yes. Tokyo is Amsterdam with more character. Significantly more character in the way that I like it. I love Amsterdam. I think Amsterdam is beautiful.
I
love
think
Vienna. Another beautiful city. One of the best,
can almost.
in my opinion. But yeah, Tokyo, yes. But 0%.
Oh, we just
legality,
take and
which I
play
don't
G5 or no?
I don't smoke weed.
When driving in. It's not immigration per se, rather an agricultural inspection to check for invasive species, but the point is not that these checks themselves significantly separate the state from the rest. More so, the fact that California is able to isolate and protect itself from pests prevalent in the rest of the country with any degree of success demonstrates just how naturally disconnected it is. The only state to have a similarly extensive agricultural inspection system is Hawaii, made up of literal islands. But the reason California can be so isolated is because it's really, absurdly, filthy rich. The state's center, if defined by wealth concentration, is here, Silicon Valley. It'd be easy to assume the area's riches are overstated, but the numbers offer a quick counterpoint. Santa Clara, San Mateo, and San Francisco, the 3 counties that encompass the core of Silicon Valley, have a collective GDP of 700.
I love when people say, hell yeah, Bay Area represent. My friend, that is the reason why you can't live there. You know what I mean? Like that. Like those guys are taking most of the profits.
Probably F5.
This is closest to that of Poland, the 21st largest nation in the world, home to 38 million people.
Common Polish L.
The uninitiated might assume that San Francisco and Silicon Valley are more or less
literally 3 counties.
Like, yeah, you
worth
can.
Of revenue, dude. That's crazy. Not even the whole state. 3 counties worth.
You could play like B4, Bishop
Sure,
B7, but
has a big tech scene, but the major headquarters are distributed
think we should
across
be
the
too worried about
towns
that.
and cities to the south of it. Google is in Mountain View, Apple is in Cupertino, Netflix is in Los Gatos. What this means is that these titans of tech, some of the largest companies in the world, are headquartered.
The problem is if he does nothing,
cities,
I feel like
82,000,
G6 might be
60,000,
strong.
and 34,000 residents, respectively. Therefore, they're regulated by tiny, hyper-local governments. In fact, San Francisco, the city you know best, is not even the largest city in the San Francisco Bay Area.
I feel like G6 is
San
strong,
Jose
right?
has 983,000 residents to San Francisco's
H takes.
815,000 because the entire area is just subdivided into a huge number of smaller cities and towns, which is a bit of a trend. Los Angeles County, encompassing most, but not even all of the
You could
metro
probably
area,
almost
is
just
composed of
take and
88
play like
different
Bishop
cities
H3.
plus unincorporated areas. Across both of the state's
Yeah, one major problem with California or even LA County is that it's just so big.
Can you just play G6?
Like, it is so insanely
Probably
vast.
just Bishop H3.
And the 88 cities that they're referencing are like kind of far from each other.
It's got to be pretty
Like,
good. He has Knight C5.
It's just built like shit. Really.
Rook F1.
That's it. I don't know how else to describe it. It is built like fucking
probably
dog
over.
shit.
There's probably
That makes
way
sense?
better ways of executing this, but I feel like Black fell apart somewhere
largest
around.
urbanized masses, what functions like one city operates as dozens, even hundreds, leaving few comprehensive overarching bodies. to
Somewhere around
sectors.
here, F5.
Zoomed
I feel like
in,
he needs
considering
to.
the odd relationship and power dynamics
probably
of
just
neighboring
castle.
communities, or zoomed out, considering the state's historical and contemporary isolation, California.
Texas is like that too. There are like 7 cities with over 100K people just in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah. You know what? That's not even wrong. They urban sprawled because they could, but no one ever stopped to ask if they should. Well, it's one of the issues with like modern developments, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Especially in a place like America. If you go back, I can't believe I'm saying this, and people will probably fucking yell at me, but if you go back to city
So
planning
E5 I can
time
go
in,
Knight
like,
D5.
different monarchies, they're
Bishop
literally
takes,
better.
Rook takes.
The only reason why you have cities like London or you have cities in Europe is because the
Or let's see.
built them. Okay? I'm not even kidding. Like a lot of the development built back then that people basically used the skeletons of and built on top
What
of.
happens on Rook
We're able to
F1? Takes on D4, Queen F7, King
we're able to
D8.
basically build city planning in a way that certainly still reflected class positions, right?
Hmm.
And that wasn't great. But
Not
it was
quite.
still,
So we have to play something like
you know,
Knight
it was
D5.
a
And
building that you could inevitably turn into housing for as many people as possible, as they did in places like in places like London, out of necessity. Whereas, you know, in America, we fucking build shit because we can, and we build shit in a way that like you know, in a way that best suits the interests of like suburbanite white people, that puts them in proximity, like as further proximity as possible to black people. Really fucking ugly, gross, cookie cutter.
G6. Okay, it doesn't solve the problem of your D
Partially true.
pawn.
After World War II, all those European cities that were bombed to shit changed.
It solves the problem of the H5 check, but not the
like
D
The
pawn.
Hague, but reversed it, and now it's not a hellscape.
So we're gonna go after the D pawn, I think. Because I can play Rook F, but then Queen, or I can play Rook F1, but then Rook F8, and then blocks out that idea. So,
100%.
but the D pawn is still hanging, so that's a problem.
Oh. All countries are forced to value their land different and densify. USA has
Could also play Queen G4.
Government planning to prioritize good land use.
Then he could just castle.
Is as unique a state there is. Unique
Because European cities were built without cars. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, Queen G4 he couldn't castle.
And instead built it around the fact that most people will be
So
walking
what does he
around
do? Knight
6 months
F8?
later, and we took cars into consideration. I have a master's degree in planning.
All right,
No,
yeah.
That's
Just play Rook.
what I'm saying. That's why I said there is. No, I agree with you 100%. You are 100% correct. And even in places where we did build cities for walkability in mind, we literally fucking ripped them apart so we could basically long dick the entire town with cars and infrastructure built around, or roads built around, you know, vehicles.
Feels
I agree with you. You're absolutely correct.
Queen D3, and again,
all the wards in Houston, and then the highways separating the
the
suburbs.
pawn is
Yeah.
hanging.
I mean, listen, I saw this meme
You
on
go
fucking
Queen
Twitter,
G4,
which I
Knight
thought was really
F8.
sick, because it's like odd to see how easily someone identifies a problem, but it was like one of those like mega highways or whatever in Texas where there's like 11 fucking.
But then this knight is completely out of play. Or yeah, the knight and the rook, just completely out of play. So I feel like that has to be worth it.
Texas was the Cat Freeway. I don't know. It's like a spaghetti freeway basically, and someone was saying it might have been fake actually, but no, it's not the one more lame bro meme. No, someone was saying the black neighborhood that was definitely under this must have been fire. Okay.
You can also go Knight C5.
It's such a perfect way to describe exactly the problem.
I didn't even see a Knight
I
C5.
don't even know if the clover was like real or whatever.
I could play
like,
B4.
Is this it? No, this isn't it. No. It was like a clover. Yes, that's
I probably will play B4 because
it so perfectly fucking describes in such few words.
I think Queen E6 will be
exactly how
winning.
and what purpose these kinds of interstate highways were created for. I wonder if anyone can find it. Not like the actual version of it. Same geographical size. A highway interchange in Houston. Yeah, this was the image. And underneath it, someone was like, the black neighborhood underneath this must have been fire. Or must have been lit.
Check.
Oh, damn, dude. What is it? Is this fucking Florida, dude? Is this fake?
Queen E7.
Sometimes it feels like Florida literally feels like this.
Check.
I'm not even kidding.
Check.
If you've ever been in like Miami-Dade, and moved beyond Miami-Dade to like Coral Gables, you literally have seen something that ironically looks like
Bishop D7, check.
Like this. Obviously, it's not real. This is AI art, but it just feels like this. I swear to God.
Check.
AI, that's Houston. I grew up there. What do you mean, dude? This is like impossible. I mean, a lot of places in America feel like this.
Ooh,
That's
resigns.
by design.
Nice.
It's dog shit. I mean, look at this. This is real. This is real. This is a real highway interchange in Houston. I get how people say stuff is ugly, but it really impresses me when I go through them. Like, humanity is able to make stuff like this so monumental, and people just go through everyday genius. No. I love infrastructure. Okay? When Marat was like, bro, let's go to the fucking mountains, do some off-roading. One of the things I loved was not like necessarily the trees or anything like that, but the water purification centers, and also those fat-ass fucking beams that they put on top of mountains so we can, feed energy into Los Angeles County. I think that shit's fire. Okay? I love that. This, on the other hand, is gross.
Check.
I love energy. I hate car-based infrastructure.
Check.
Okay?
Uniqueness has brought benefits, but uniqueness has also created unique problems and bizarre, sometimes convoluted means
Check.
of solving them. Take homelessness. This is a hot-button, highly visible issue with complicated causes and largely theoretical solutions, so it's easy for conversations over it to spiral out of scale. A quick look at the statistics, however, makes one thing unmistakably clear. California's homelessness problem is uniquely bad.
Again,
With
this
582,462 people experiencing homelessness nationwide in 2022, 171,521 were in California. That's nearly 30% of the nation's total, or for comparison, some 97,000 more than New York and some 150,000 more than Florida, the states with the second and third largest homeless populations. But California is the most populous state in the nation, so this should be considered at a per-resident rate. And here too, California outpaces the rest, with 44 people experiencing homelessness per 10,000.
Check.
More troubling still,
Oh, Rick takes E5 here is
Stays, by the way.
clever. Because if takes...
Just saying.
Oh, then we have Queen B. Oh, okay. Queen B6.
44 people experiencing homelessness per 10,000. More troubling still, despite the highest total and the highest rate, the problem's only getting worse.
Yeah, look,
Check.
dude, why do you think Hawaii or New York has such high rates of homelessness? Please. I can't speak for Vermont. I
Check.
can speak for Oregon. I can speak for Hawaii. I can speak for New York. I can speak for California. Okay? Well, one, because they don't fucking melt them or put them in buses. Well, California used to literally put them in fucking planes and I think send them to Hawaii back when it wasn't blue, back when it was red. But part of the reason is because, no, it's not welfare programs, man. It's because rent's too damn high. That's it. That's the whole point. The fuck do you mean, Hawaii? What do you think is going on in Hawaii? Why is there so many fucking homeless people in Hawaii? At least in Hawaii, it makes kind of sense. Because it's like, you know, Hawaii kind of makes sense because there's limited amount of land. Texas buses ungodly amounts of homeless.
So yeah, I just missed this is the big tactic I missed.
Yeah, look at this. Median rent. Hawaii, DC, California, Maryland, New Jersey. Part of the reason why New Jersey is so high, but it's not as bad with homelessness, I think, is because
That's crazy. Oh wait,
so much mass availability.
I thought this was a tactic.
New Jersey is fucking slammed. It's dense.
Oh, it is. What the hell? What's going on? So you just play like that, and you get hit.
Check.
I grew up in Hawaii. I remember when California was buying homeless people one-way tickets to Hawaii. Yeah.
Check.
Hassan implying that mainly USA has infinite land.
Check.
Bitch, in comparison to Hawaii, it does.
Check.
What do you mean?
Check.
The United States of America,
Check.
if it had the same, like, building density of fucking
Checkmate.
New York, if New York's same density, like New York
Check.
City's same density existed in the state of Texas, we could put, like, the entire planet
Checkmate.
in the state of Texas. Like, literally. We could put the entire planet and house
So many
it inside
sacrifices
of
in
the
the
state
najdorf.
of Texas if it had the same density of New York City. The entire planet,
GG.
okay?